Hello dear all, welcome to channel Sandhya Education Academy. I am Santosh Wagh. In this video, we will see exercise 5.1 of chapter 5 data handling class 8 mathematics. During the exercise, we will see how frequency chart is created and histogram is plotted. Now let's start our video to see the usefulness of histogram. Now see the first question of exercise 5.1. Here question is, for which of these would you use a histogram to show the data? Four situations are given here and we have to find out for which we can use histogram. First, we will understand what is histogram. For a data handling in the chapter, we have studied different terms: raw data, frequency, bar graph, histogram, pie chart, and all these. In this exercise, we will see the frequency chart and histogram, the questions related to frequency and histogram. Now, what is the histogram? Histogram is a type of bar graph where the group data is shown and the class interval have no gap. There is no gap between the bars and class interval. So this is the histogram. Now the first situation. What is the first situation? The number of letters for different area in a postman bag. Number of letters and area, two terms are there. Number of letters given, this is the raw data, and another what is area. What is area? If we draw a graph and if area is plotted here, suppose this is a area, this is B area, C area, like this area on x-axis, this x-axis, horizontal axis, and number of letters on y-axis in this direction. Suppose for example we can say 100, 200. Let this be the scale: 100, 200, 300, like this, and A, B, C are the areas, name of areas. So here we can plot this graph. Suppose for A area there are 200 letters, for B there are 100, for C there are 300, and so on. But here we can put a gap between these areas. So it would be the bar graph, a simple bar graph. This is a simple bar graph. There is a gap between this bar, so it is not a histogram. So it is not a histogram. For first condition, it is not a. We cannot use histogram. Now see for the second, height of competitors in athletics. Suppose this is a graph. Height of competitors in athletics meet. Here we can make class interval. How we can make class interval? Number of competitors, we can say number of competitors in this direction, and here we can put the interval height. Suppose we can make here 100 centimeter, 210, 120, 130, 140, like this. We can make an interval, and this group we can make, and there is no gap between any group. For suppose for 100 and 110, for this group there are, suppose this is scale 10, 20, 30, 40 like this. Suppose there are 20 competitors, so this will be the first graph. For this interval, next interval 110 to 120, suppose there are 100 competitors, so we can put like this. For the next interval, suppose there are 50, this will be the next bar like this. So in this situation we can use histogram because we are making the class interval. There is no gap between class interval. So this is the basic condition for histogram. What is the basic condition? There is no gap between class interval. So in the second statement we are fulfilling this situation, this condition. So for the second we can use histogram. Now see the third statement, the number of cassettes produced by 5 companies. Here also how we can put a graph? If this is a graph and number of companies, 5 companies, here 5 companies are given. Suppose there are X, Y, Z, W, T. These are the 5 companies, and in the direction of Y there are number of cassettes. What is here? Number of cassettes in this direction. It is not necessary X, gap between X and Z is equal to gap between Y and Z. So there is no class interval. It is not related to class interval. It is simply a bar graph like this. It is simply a bar graph. So for this case we cannot use histogram. Now see the last situation. What is given? This statement, the number of passengers boarding trains from 7 am to 7 pm at stations. Here if we draw a graph like this, on x-axis we can write time, and time we can put in a class interval. Suppose 7 am to 7 pm total given. Suppose this is a 7 and here is 8, 9, 10. A 1 hour interval we can put like this. So our class interval is 1 hour, and number of trains here in y direction. What is number of passengers boarding trains? On y-axis we can put numbers. Suppose for this first interval, if this is a scale 50, 100, 150, we can put this bar graph like this. According to the data, the bar graph will be like this. In this bar graph there are class intervals which are equal, and there is no gap between class interval. So in this situation we can use a histogram. So if we study deeply, we can say our answer is only for B and D we can use histogram. And why we cannot use histogram for A and C? Because if the class interval there, we cannot make class interval. So here we cannot make class interval for this A and C. So this is our final answer. Now see question number 2 of exercise 5.1. The shoppers who come to a departmental store are marked as: for man M, for woman W, for boy B, or for girl C. The following list gives the shoppers who came during the first hour in the morning. Means a departmental store is there and for the first hour observations are made. M is for man, W for woman, B for boy and G for girl. Here are the observations. These are the observations for the first hour in the morning. And what is asked? Make a frequency distribution table using tally marks. Draw a bar graph to illustrate it. Now we will start our solution. Then how to make a frequency distribution table? In frequency distribution table, these are the shoppers. We will first make columns. In first column we will write shoppers. These are the shopper column. In the next column we will write tally marks. Tally marks. And here we will make total of tally mark and we will find the numbers, total number. So let's make a table here. So this is our frequency table. In first column we will write which are the shoppers. So first is, let's write W for woman, then M for man and B for boy and G for girl. Then see how to make tally marks. This is the data. All this is data and we will use this data to make the tally marks. Very carefully see and do not skip any single marking, otherwise our numbers will go wrong. So your concentration is required. Do systematically, do not make any hesitation, do not worry about, just go slowly and make concentration on this raw data. So for W we will make step by step. We will mark for first, what is the first entry? W. So for W we will first strike this W and make one mark here. Then for W again strike this, make second mark. Then again third entry is also W, so strike this, make third marking here. Then entry G, for G strike this G and mark one entry. For B similarly, see your concentration is required here. First make strike here and then make entry. See there are 4 entries and 4 strikes, so we are going correctly. Then next B, strike this B, mark one entry. W there are 3, one more entry. For W again, next W strike this and after 4 next entry will be like this. Okay. Then M, for M first strike and then make entry. G first strike then make entry. G again strike, make entry. Then M strike and make entry. M. Similarly all entries we will do like this. Thus we have made tally marks for all the entries. Very step by step, very systematically. We have not made any hesitation, any wrong entry. And now see how many tally marks there are there for W. This is group of 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 and this 3, means there are 28 numbers. For M 5, 10, 15. For B 05, and for G 12. So these are the numbers of shoppers who have visited in the departmental store for the first hour in morning. So this is a frequency chart, and I hope you understood how to make a frequency chart. The total, how many, if we tally 28 plus 15 plus 5 plus 12 means there are 60 entries. How many entries are? There are 60 entries. So just count here 1, 2, 59, 60 means which tally marks we have marked here are correct. Total are 60 and we are making perfectly. Thus we have made this tally marks. Now what is asked? Draw a bar graph to illustrate it. Now how to draw a bar graph? Bar graph means we will have to make like this. Suppose here we will mark a bar graph. Let this be the y-axis and this be the x-axis. On the x-axis we will make this entry, shopper's entry, W, then here M, then here B, and here G. And on the y-axis, vertical axis, we will make number, total numbers. Okay, and let be the scale. There are 60, total 60, and 28 maximum. Maximum number is 28, minimum is 05. So by considering this, we will have to make scale. So how we can make the scale? We can write for 1 centimeter we can write 5. So it will be 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So all numbers will be covered here. Let this be the 5 is 0. This is first is 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 20, then 30. For W there are 28 entries, 28 numbers. So it will be 20, 25, 26, 7, 8. It will be here like this. So we can write here, we can mark this 28 for W. For M, 15 entries are 15. So this is a M. Make a bar for M. This M. Then for B, 05. This 05. Make here a bar for 05. Make the width similar, same width. Take same width. And for G, 12. So 10 and this will be the 12. Like this. In this way, we have made tally marks, this frequency chart, and also a bar graph. This is a bar graph. On this axis, there are shoppers. We have written shoppers, and on y-axis, on vertical axis, there are frequency of shoppers. That is number of shoppers. And all this is data for first hour in the morning. Now see question number 3 of exercise 5.1. What is given? The weekly wages in rupees of 30 workers in a factory are, and these are the entries. All these are wages of 30 workers in rupees. And what is asked? Using tally marks, make a frequency table with interval as 800 to 810, 810 to 820, and so on. So how to make frequency table we have seen in the last example. So let's start our solution and first make up this table. In this table, first entry will be interval, then tally marks, and then frequency means numbers. So let's draw our this table. Here we have drawn this frequency table. In the first column we will write interval, in the second column tally marks, and in last column frequency. So let's start our activity. We know how to make a tally marks. First we will make interval. Now see why we have taken this interval 800 to 810. Here see what is the minimum value of wages, what is the minimum value and what is the maximum value. Total, this is span 800 to 900, this is total span, and in this span there are number of entries. So we have taken this interval of rupees 10, 800 to 810. Maximum and minimum, there is no entry below 800 and no entry beyond 900. So we can cover all the entries in this span. And this span, this total span 800 to 900 span, this total span is subdivided in total 10 subgroups, means 10 sub intervals. So let's start our activity and see. For I have also told you how to make a tally marks. First strike this entry, then mark here 830 first strike and then mark in the interval. So 830 will be first entry. Okay, so strike this 830. Where is, now see 830 in this interval, there are 830 here also, 830 here also, but we will take in the higher class, so it will go here. 835 first strike and then make marking here. 835 will lie 830 to 840. Okay, then 890 where, again in the higher class there are 890 here also, 890 here also, but we will take on the higher class in the next class. So make here entry. 810 here, similarly in the higher class. 830 to 840, it will go here. First strike, I have forgotten, but first strike here and then make entry. Again tally, there are 1 2 3 4 5 strikes and there are 1 2 3 4 5 entries, so we are going right. Then next 836 first strike and then 836 will lie in this group, 830 to 840, make entry here. 869 will lie here in this group. 845 will lie here. 898 where it will lie, 890 here, 898 will lie in this group. 890 in the higher group, 820 in the higher group, 860 in the higher group. Then 832, there are 4 entry, 5th entry will be like this. Okay, 833 again here. 855 will lie here. 845 here. 804 here. Then 808 again here. 812 here in this class. 840 in the next class. 885 here. 835 here. 835 again next entry here. 836 again lie here. 878 here. 840 will lie in this group. 868 will lie here. 890 will lie here. 806 where it will lie? 806 will lie here. Then 840 will lie here. Got it? We have made all the tally marks. Now see, there are total 30 works, means if we count frequency we must get total 30 entries. So let's take, there are 3 entries for first class interval, 2 entries for next year 1, then 5 plus 4 means 9 entries, then 5 entries, then 1 entry, then 3 entry, then 1 entry again, 1 entry, and last 4. If we add all these frequencies, 3 to 5 6 plus 9, that will be 15, plus 5 20, 21 plus 3 24, 25, 26 plus 4 30. So here we are getting total 30 entries, means our frequency marking is correct. And this is the frequency tally marks. What is asked? Only asked is make the tally marks. This tally marks is the question. So in this way we have made the tally marks of this question. Here again I will repeat, if there are number of entries, all these number of entries, total 30 entries, so be careful, make your concentration, do not lose. Once you started, do not stop. First strike the entry, then make entry here. First strike this entry, this number, then make entry in the class interval. So if you follow this procedure, then there is no chance for any mistake. So be careful while marking the tally marks. It seems to be very simple, but your concentration is required. Now see the question number 4 of exercise 5.1. Draw a histogram for frequency table made for the data in question number 3 and answer the following questions. Here we will require a data which is given in question number 3. So we will just look what is the data given in the question number 3. Now see, here is the data for question number 3. 30 workers' wages are given here. And what is asked in question number 4? Draw a histogram for frequency table made for the data. Now here a histogram is asked. See, to draw a histogram we require interval, class interval, and the frequency. So we will first write down the class interval and frequency. This table we will first write, and then it will be very easy to draw a histogram and to answer these questions. So first let's draw a class interval and frequency mark table, and then we will draw a histogram. This is the data from question number 3. These are the class interval and this is the frequency. 800 to 810, there are 3 numbers. Similarly, on this interval the frequency is written here. Now we will draw a histogram. For histogram, what is the basic condition? A class interval is required and there should be no gap between class interval, and this condition is satisfied. So for this example we can draw histogram. So let's draw a vertical axis and horizontal axis, and then we will decide a scale. To draw any graph we require 2 axes and a scale is required. A proportional scale will require. On the horizontal axis there will be class interval, and on the vertical axis there will be frequency. This will be the frequency, and there will be the class interval. How will be the class interval? From 800 to 900. This is total span. We will divide all this span in 10 class interval. So we will take 1 centimeter for one class interval. So let's extend this axis and make marking for the each class interval. This is 0 for any graph. This is 0, but we are starting from 800. So just break this line here. Means this line, though it is 0, we are marking here from 800. So this portion is break. So take 1 centimeter scale for one class interval. Suppose if this is 800, it will be 810, it will be 820, 900. This is class interval. Class interval for wages, and wages in rupees. And this will be the frequency. Frequency means number of workers. Here we can write number of workers in this direction. And again make a scale. There are frequency maximum is 9, minimum is 1. So this should be in proportion again. So let's extend some line here for our maximum, because we are getting maximum 9. So make 1 centimeter for one worker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. This line will extend. Here we have not broken this line because we are starting from 0. But in the horizontal axis we are not starting, though it is 0, but here is 800. So this distance is not proportional. This 1 centimeter we have taken this span, but this distance is not proportional. So we have broken this line. Now see how to draw. First 800 to 810 means this interval 800 to 810. There is frequency is 3. So this is a 3. So put 3 centimeter vertical line from these two. 810, 110, 800 and 810. 3 centimeter line. This will be our first. This will be the first graph. First. Then next for next interval 800 to 820. What is given? 2. So make 2 centimeter vertical line. Why 1 centimeter I am telling? Because for vertical line we have taken 1 centimeter scale for one worker. So take here 2 centimeter. Then join this. For 820 to 830, what is given? Only one worker is there for this interval, class interval. So make 1 centimeter vertical line. This will be the class interval of 820, 830. For 830 to 840, 9. There are 9 workers in this class interval. So make a 9 centimeter vertical line from this for this interval. It will be here. This is the highest frequency class interval. Then for next interval 840 to 850, 5 numbers are there. So where is 5? Make 5 centimeter marking here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And for this also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 centimeter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make vertical line and join this. For next interval 850 to 860. 850 to 860. Only one is given for this interval. To make 1 centimeter line here, join this. For next interval 870, 860 to 873, there are 3 workers in this interval. So make 3 centimeter line, vertical line. Like this. So this will be the next class interval. Then 1 for both class interval, 1 centimeter we require, because only one worker is lying in this class interval. So make 1 centimeter vertical line for these 2 entries. And in the last interval 890 to 900, 4 workers are there. So make 4 centimeter vertical line. 4 centimeter vertical line. For this also. For this also. And join this. Thus, this is a histogram. Why it is called a histogram? Because we have taken a class interval of 10 rupees. These wages are in rupees. So class interval of 10 rupees. There is no gap between class interval. So this bar graph is called as a histogram. What is called as a? This bar graph is a histogram. Thus we have plotted this histogram. Now find the answers of questions which are asked here. First question is, which group has the maximum number of workers? So it is very easy visualize from this histogram. So this group, it clearly indicates this group has a maximum number of workers. So what is our answer? This group 830 to 840. What is our answer? Answer is 830 to 840. This group, this interval has the maximum number of workers. This is the benefit of histogram. We can visualize very easily. If we have a raw data, then it is very difficult to guess, to conclude any statement. But if we draw histogram, it becomes very easy. What is the next question? How many workers earn rupees 850 and more? So this is our class interval 850 and onward. What is asked? More than 850. So from 850 onwards we will calculate. What is the calculation? 850 means 1 plus 3 plus 1 plus 1 plus 4. What is tally? 1 plus 3. 1 plus 3 is 4. Plus 1, 5, 6 and plus 4, 10. Means the answer is 10 workers. 10 workers are earning more than 850. Here also, as this is a marking 1 plus 3, 4, 5, 6 plus 4. If we make addition of these all workers, then we get number 10. So 10 is our answer. First answer is 830 to 840 group. Next answer is 10. And what is asked in what is third question? How many workers earn less than rupees 850? So this is 850. Then make addition of all these workers from frequency chart or this histogram. So now just put how many workers are in this group. There are 3, there are 2, there is 1. Then here there are 9 workers, here 5 workers, here 1, here 3, here 1 and 4. These are the workers in this class interval. So in the last question, what is asked? How many workers earn less than 850? So this class interval is 850. Just count 5 plus 9 14, plus 1 15, 16 17 and plus 3 means there are total 20 workers. So 20 is our answer. So thus we have seen how to make a frequency chart, then from frequency chart how to draw a histogram, and with the help of histogram it is easy to answer the questions which are asked. Now see the last question, question number 5 from exercise 5.1. The question is, the number of hours for which students of a particular class watch television during holiday is shown through a graph. This graph is shown and hours of TV watch per day on this axis and number of students is given. This is also a histogram because this class interval is given. These hours 1 to 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours, these are the hours and this is the frequency. So from this histogram the questions are asked and we have to answer the questions. What is the first question? First let understand this histogram. In this class interval of hours, these are the number of students. So what is, suppose 2 to 3 is class interval, there are 8 students. If 5 to 6 is class interval, there are also 8 students. If class interval is 4 to 5 hours, the students, 32 students are in class interval of 4 to 5. So what is the first question? For how many hours did the maximum number of students watch TV? What is given? What is asked? For how many hours? These are the hours. So it clearly indicates 32 is the maximum number. What is asked? Maximum number. What is maximum number? 32, and it lies in class interval of 4 to 5. So our answer must be 4 to 5 hours. This is our answer, and 4 to 5 hours is the maximum number of students watch TV. This is 32 is maximum, so this interval is our answer. In the next question, how many students watch TV for less than 4 hours? Now see, here what is asked? How many students watch TV less than 4? If this is a 4, then all these students is addition of all these students are watching less than 4 hours. So addition, how we can add this? This 22 students watch 3 to 4 hours, means it is less than 4 hours, plus 8 students 2 to 3, 22 plus 8 30, and these 4 students which watch 1 to 2 hours TV. So addition of these 22 plus 8 30, 30 plus 4, that is 34. So our answer is 34 students is our answer. 34 students watch TV less than 4 hours. In the next third question, how many students spend more than 5 hours in watching TV? Now see, here what is asked? More than 5 hours. More than means we have to add all these numbers which are greater than 5 hours. More than 5. 5 to 6 is more than 5. 6 to 7 is more than 5. So add these two frequencies. 8 plus 6, that is 14. So 14 students spend more than 5 hours in watching TV. These 8 students spend 5 to 6 hours and 6 students spend 6 to 7 hours. So addition of these two students, total 14 students have spent more than 5 hours in watching TV. So thus it becomes very easy to get the solution of questions if there is a histogram. So this is the use of histogram, and we have seen how it is illustrated and how we can use the histogram. This is all for this video. We will meet again in our next video. do learn, do enjoy. Thank you.